All right, we got us a 1997 Audi 2.8, I believe, and we have to fix the front wheel bearing. We get us a noise up here making some rattling, cranking, grinding, whole bunch of noises. We got to take this wheel off and all that good stuff. And interesting enough, all these lug nuts have these little plastic covers on them, which I'm not sure. Well, they probably help keep the rust and dirt out and all that. And there's a little lug nuts we got to take off. So I got to get this up in the air and see what's going on. And also on this side, look at that, real headlights with glass. Don't find that anymore. This one here, it's making a rattling noise. I'm not sure what's going on, but for now, we're just going to focus on this wheel bearing here. We're going to get this wheel off and all that good stuff and see what we're going to get into. Alright, so I've got my 1935 or 40 jack up under there. I need to put a safety jack under their stand. But right off the bat, the biggest guy I got here is a 5/8, and look at this, still not big enough. That is huge. No idea, I thought they'd have a regular bolt on there, but so I've tried to yank this off with this. It's a little loose, so I think what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and take off the brakes and stuff and get this off the sides and try to figure out how to break this loose. I'm not sure what size it is, but it's a little bit bigger than a 5/8. What did I just get myself into? Oh boy. Well, of all tools, I had to break out impact star bit socket set. Something I'm not supposed to use on here, but anyway. I kind of got this one out. And let me see what size it is. I'm not sure what size the socket was. So the socket's the T47, and see, you're supposed to use an Allen, but the Torx bit fit in there. So let's get the other one out. I guess if you're going to use one of these, make sure you just drive it all the way in like I did there. Don't just get the tip of it in there because you'll round it off. But there's that. Alright, I don't know. So here's all my Allens, and it falls in between a 1/4 and 3/8. A 1/4 is too small, and so I'm not sure what's missing. So anyway, so it must be some kind of a metric. Well, it probably could be a metric, so I'll have to search Audi's site and see what size Allen this pin takes for the brake. Anyway, alright, don't forget to take your spring off. So there's that. Put that off to the side. Go ahead and kind of get these out. Squeeze this caliper back a little bit. Alright, there's that. Of course, we've got another sensor here on this brake pad. They just don't stop with the sensors. We'll stick this back here for now. So I get some of this stuff here out of the way. There's the other pad. Well, the pads aren't too bad. About half and half. And of course, we got to get this big old caliper off here, brake caliper. I got to turn the wheel, bracket, and use the breaker bar on that, I'm sure. Nothing's going to be easy on this car, I'm sure. Alright, so the bolt on the back of the caliper bracket is 11/16. We use a 6-point. It's a little loose. It might be just slightly smaller, but see if we can break it loose. Alright, so I need to go down with it. So here goes. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Do the bottom one. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Finally something kind of going right. Good looking car though. Pretty impressed with the condition of it. So it's probably well worth fixing up. I mean, a lot of people are collecting these old cars now. Beats paying $30,000, $40,000 for a new one, right? So that's that much more money you'll have to go out on Facebook Marketplace and buy more cars to work on. To make your life miserable or whatever. If you enjoy this stuff, it's not too bad. Alright, let's get this off. All right, well, there it is. All right, let's get this rotor off. Interesting, we have a lot of vent holes in this rotor. And this is what we got to get off. Kind of scary. So if I get this nut out here on the bottom, get this here all unbolted. All right, so I got this broken loose. I used a socket here, the biggest socket I had. I was telling you about a minute ago. So it looks like for the most part we got this loose. We put a breaker bar on it, and man, that thing is just, it's huge. Find the socket here. And it turns out it was a 5/8, but it's actually a 17 millimeter. You'll probably have to order a special socket, but the 5/8 did work. If you're going to use this, you could probably put a shim in there, make it a little bit sturdier, but it was enough to break this off. And also, I have to take a 10 millimeter wrench. There's a couple little bolts right here. Take this piece of shield off. And really, the only thing I have to do is take off the bottom ball joint and 3 of the bolts up on the top. I'll take this bracket off, these little bolts. And the tie rod in here, it's already loose. And the speed sensor here. I think we can go ahead and drop this whole thing out. All right, tie rod end is out. And now we're knocking out the bolt here on the lower ball joint. I got the nut off. All right, so we got everything out. The nut is out, nut and bolt is out on the lower ball joint right there. Got the sensor out. Weird, they just pull right out. There's no clip or anything. You kind of twist them out. And slowly they come out. And also the 3 nuts up here, I've got those off. So we're good there. These 3, I think we leave on. So we're just gonna pull the whole tower out and all of that. And I've got a jack under here, so I'll have to lower the jack down a little bit and see what we have here. It should come out. I might have to get my little pry bar. Let's see. Yeah. Once I knock the rest of this ball joint out of here, take a hammer and pry on this, I should be able to get this out. So let's try that. All right, everyone. Holy moly. See that? It's out. And here's the strut assembly and everything. Once I knock the axle back a little bit here, I basically got it off of this ball joint, but I left a couple of bolts up here kind of tight because you have to use a pipe like this. You need to get in here like this and just kind of pry down on this sway bar. It's already far down as it'll go. I mean, it's just enough clearance to get that ball joint out. So if you have a buddy, if he can pull down on this really, really hard, it'll make it a little bit easier to take off. But I took all the bolts out of the top and slid the whole thing down, and there it is. And it's pretty big. Let me grab it here real quick. Oh, I was lucky I didn't pinch my fingers or anything. Oh, one-man band, yeah. And here's what we got to change. Yep. Hello. So hopefully, I don't think I can get this in my press. I have a ball joint compressor. I'm gonna have to get this in my press somehow. I don't know. I don't think a ball joint press. Let's see. No, this has got to go in my press somehow. So there it is. The only all-wheel drive Audi Quattro 2.8 video you're going to find on YouTube of taking off of a strut on the front. Yeah, there's other videos, but they're all 2-piece and they unbolt, but not one big housing like this. So go ahead and get cracking here and try to figure out how to get this out. All right, everyone, this is how I roll. If it wasn't for this press, it has saved me so much time and money. So I'm going to show you what I got here set up. A big old socket down there on the center part of that race, and she's kind of balanced there. Got a piece of wood there, and kind of a piece of wood there. And would you believe it's already going? I could have probably done this with my ball joint puller if I had a way to set it up, but with this many miles, I'm surprised it's coming out pretty easy. So we have to take this center hub off because there's a clip on the other side down here. You can't get to the clip until you take this off. Whoa, there it is. It went out. All right, let me kind of grab some of the stuff here so we don't lose any more sockets. What size socket did I use? Well, let's just say I used a 1 1/8 big old socket. Sorry about the lighting, it's getting a little dark here. And I guess I can go ahead and just take this out of here. Well, yeah, because I need to get the hub out. Alright, so there is the hub, and boy, yeah. Let's hope this is still good. Should there be a second step there? I guess it's okay. It looks okay. Yeah. There's a second step in there for that bearing. Look at that. See it right there? Second little step. So I hope the other bearings that we got have that. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, well, I'll tell you what, it's been a year ordering parts and getting the wrong stuff, so let me go ahead and get this bearing out of here. And as you can see, the clip is right here. I'll get this out real quick. Alright, well, I thought there was a clip here, but there is no clip in here. Neither side has a clip, and I know why. You see how that is recessed down in there in that bearing, that little low place? Well, when you put that hub on, that pushes on that, and when you put the bolt in the axle, that's what keeps that bearing in there. Wow, that's crazy. I really thought we would see a clip in here, but here's the other side, and look at that. No clip whatsoever. That's just the bearing, the race. So, that's what push it out. I'm not sure which way to push it out. So, we'll go ahead and get this out, and we got it made. But yeah, you're going to have a press to get this out. Some kind of a press. Maybe a ball joint. Tools. Or maybe you could just make something. You know, you got a lot of room here. You can put a brace across here with a bolt and wrench it down with something. I don't know. You can make something probably. Alright everyone, my setup continues to rock, and we've got a big old socket in there, and I'm just pushing down on that bearing, and it's already popped loose. And I think maybe you can see it there if I kind of hold my camera flashlight at the same time. Probably not, but let me see if I can. Let's see, we're going. It's going. Totally shocked I got this. Almost out. Would you look at that? Look what we got. We got us a bearing that we just pushed out. I can't believe that worked. Oh, my other socket's back here. I'm using this. This is a hub. This is, gosh, what is this? I've had this forever. But it's for front hubs that you can take apart and work on and so forth. Let me see if I can figure out what size this is, because someone's going to ask me. I cannot see what size it is, but I'll clean it off a little bit later. I'll let you guys know. The size is right there, but I can't see it. Anyway, I'm shocked. I got it. I'm shocked. Wow. Alright, so let's take this out in the light and look at it. Alright, so on the back side, if you look closely, there's actually a little bit of a lip there. So I'll have to push it in from the front, and yeah, I just couldn't see that lip. That's what holds that bearing in. And also, when you put this in, the high part goes in like that. That is great. I can't believe I got this out. Well, look how hot this thing has been. Wow, that thing has been really hot. But it's toast. Yay! Alright, so not such a bad job after all. Maybe I'll get 3 or 4 views on this one, I don't know. But not too many all-wheel drive Quattros on YouTube that you can find in good shape that's really worth keeping and fixing up. But anyway, that's that. Come back, we'll press this in. Alright, we're getting ready to put together the new bearing. I was talking about that clip. This came with a clip, but my old one does not have a place for a clip. So if you get a clip, don't freak out. Yours may not even require a clip. As you saw as I pressed that bearing out, there was no clip there. So that is that. Let's go ahead and see if we can get this bearing in. Alright, so as the process continues, you can see I got this one started. I didn't even put it in the press. I stuck it in there, kind of put some heavy grease in there. Tuck this guy here, put on top the old one. Tuck a hammer and just kind of tapped around evenly until I know it's going straight. And now it's in probably a 1/2 inch. Now I can just probably stick it up here in the old press and make it a lot quicker. And make sure you put it in the right way. Put the step, the high end, down in, because this is where the low part, the smaller part is. It goes in like that. And so far it feels really good. And I did have a little trouble getting this on the axle. I just put it on there a couple times, knocked it off, cleaned it up, and it went on fairly nice. Nothing wrong with the old one, but we're just going to go ahead and stick the new one on. So let me go ahead and put this up in the press and go ahead and hopefully finish up here soon. Okay, as I press it on, here's my setup. Basically a piece of metal. Push the whole bearing down as far as it'll go, then I'll take it out of the press and take the old bearing and put on top of it and just tap it the rest of the way in. Only has to go about 1/8 of an inch, but I got a piece back here kind of holding it up and being balanced and all that. And you can see, hear it, you can hear it going. Yeah, you just gotta think about things and you can get her done without having too much trouble most of the time. But go ahead and get this the rest of the way in. Alright, you can see I got the bearing pressed in as far as I can get it on the press. And you see I just need a little ways to go, maybe 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to experiment with this here. I'm going to take the old bearing housing here and we're just going to set it up on there and see if we can just tap it the rest of the way in. Set our bearing on here just like this. I'll try it with a small hammer first. It's actually going, so yeah, just about down there. So we'll do this. I can actually feel it moving. I think we're about all the way down there now. Yeah, you can see how far she's seated. Let me turn this a little bit. It's pretty heavy. Oh yeah, it's just about all the way in there. I think you can see the grease there. Well, we'll just give it a few more taps and we'll call that a success. And just like that, my friends, we have a new bearing. No noise, feels really good and smooth. Alright, so the final step is just to push this in. This should be very easy to do. So I could set it up in the, in the press and mess around with it and fight with it. The problem is my car's in the way here. So what I'm going to do, I think I can just get this in like this. I've got a bushing on the back side holding this inner race because this is, you don't want this to move. And I got this greased up pretty good. We're just going to set this in here, kind of like that. And I'm just going to tap around here to make sure it's straight. Then get something like this and put on here. Well, we'll use that first. And see if we can get this going in straight. That'll save us some time. It shouldn't be too hard to get in. Hey, she's going. Yep, slowly. All right. Yep, just gonna take a while, but it's going. Good. It's going better than I thought. So how far are we in? Looks like we've gone in probably a ½ inch or so. All right, I'll check my, I'm using something like this on the bottom to help hold that bearing, you know, so. Wow, it's almost all the way in. Yep, not much left, maybe a quarter of an inch, and you can see on the back side how it's already pretty much all the way in there, and it still turns smooth, nice, good. So basically something like that. That's what we're doing, holding that in there. So finish up here. Maybe you can watch this in real time, I don't know. Live action. Who was that guy? Anybody remember? Anyway, try. That, guys, that's all the way in. If you look under there, oh yeah, all the way in. So that's one way, you know, you can do it. Try to keep it, you know, putting marks on it and stuff. But it looks like we're pretty much done here. So all I got to do now is put all this back on and all that. And one other thing is, make sure when you're taking this apart, your tie rod in right here, don't use a hammer on it. Someone used a hammer on it. Use one of those little tools you can get for like $7. To pop it off. I'll put a video picture there somewhere. I have one. I used it earlier, but I tapped this and it came off fairly easy. So this is soft metal, so just be aware of that. So other than that, look at that. No noise. Nice and smooth. So, all right, so hard part's done. Let's get her back on and be all happy. All right, everyone, it's on. After about 20 minutes, I had to use a couple pry bars just to get in there and push down on that lower control arm. If you can unbolt your lower control arm from the front, it'll probably make it a little bit easier, but it's all back in. So no point in me showing you the rest of the video on how to put this together, because obviously you can figure that out. But here's a quick video. Well, I don't know how quick it is, but time-wise, how I did this one. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and until my next video, guys, I will see you later.